Good evening, nerds around the world. Welcome to episode 137 of the Nerds Unite as One podcast. I am your host, Paul English, and I am joined tonight by the fantastic crew of Mike Bulick and Jack Fern. What's going on, boys?
Hi.
Howdy.
All right, so we got another interrogation for you tonight. This time we are going to be discussing our favorite documentaries. It's something that I don't think we've done at all in this show's history, so it'll be a nice change of pace. So y'all know how the interrogation format goes, so let's set it up. For refresher for the audience, Jack, what is your favorite pick?
Won't you be my neighbor?
Okay. Mike, yours is?
American Experience, Walt Disney.
All right. And mine is Brooklyn Dodgers, Ghosts of Flatbush. So let's get it started. Jack, you're on the hot seat. Ready or not? Mike, what is your first question for Jack?
Well, I mean, I heard rave things about the documentary. I really wanted to see it, but I never got around to it. What was your just overall thoughts on the documentary?
I really enjoyed it. Very emotional. He was a really great man, and just a touching movie.
All right. By that pick, that I'm led to believe that you are. I'm going to be led to believe that you are a big Mister Rogers fan. So, what is it about Mister Rogers' Neighborhood that you love so much, and that what made this your favorite documentary?
I didn't really watch Mr. Rogers growing up. The trailer for the movie just interested me a lot, so I wanted to go see it, and it was actually pretty amazing. He was a pretty amazing guy.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. Mike, did you have another question?
Yeah. I again, as I said, I didn't actually see the documentary. How does it like start from like? Does it cover his entire life or just the show?
No, it covers most of his life, from the beginning, like, he's a pastor and moving on to the show, and then when the show ended, and then the show came back. So it covered a lot of stuff.
Okay. Did you have a part of? Is there a part in the documentary that you felt like really, really stood out to you?
There was a part where he had a kid on a wheelchair in the show, and he was going to get surgery, and that really stood out to me about how nice and inclusive he was to everybody.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know what? Since it's just the three of us, I think we can expand our normal 2-question limit. I think we can go 3 on this. So, Mike, if you have a third question, go ahead.
I do. Was there anything about the documentary that you thought it could have done better?
Trying to think back. Not really. I mean, they could have. No, I think they did what they could set out to do.
Okay.
All right.
I actually didn't have a third question. So, all right, Jack, you are off. So, Mike, you're up. So let's do this. Jack, what is your first question for Mike?
Why is this your favorite documentary? I'm guessing you're a big Disney guy.
Well, if you can tell by the shirt, it's yeah. There you go. Planet, circle, circle, kind of a mouse motif there. Yeah, yeah.
Math out of New Corporation.
I am a big fan of Walt Disney. Yeah. As a person, I think he was an amazing person. He had an imagination that and he actually went out and did stuff with it. He broke ground where no one had done before, and so finding out like where he came from, what he, how he did what he did, and went how he went through the ranks, with Snow White, and creating the corporation that owns most of the franchises that we love today. It's really interesting.
Hey, my first question specifically is obviously you, as you've just shown, you are a massive, massive Disney fan. Would you say that what do you think it is about this documentary, other than like what you just made, that makes it like stand out as your favorite, or not just your favorite, but like a definitive documentary about Disney?
Well, what I like about this documentary in particular, it's from the PBS series American Experience, and it's actually a two-parter, so it goes for a full like 3 to 4 hours. So it covers a lot, and it actually, I mean, it does show him as a very, as a pioneer, but it doesn't shy away from showing there's definitely to his personality. He was he gave unfair advantages to his animators, and like they had like the pick of the litter. They had all the money. They had all the perks, and all like the ink and paint people, and all the lower people. They got the scraps basically. And when they tried to unionize, he basically tried to call them out, all of them out as communists, and he did that in front of the McCarthy era, congressional hearings. So he definitely had some dark sides to him. But that's what I love about this documentary in particular. It doesn't show just the rosy picture. It shows the good and the bad. And just for me overall, I thought that the good far outweighed the bad.
Okay, Jack, you have another question?
Yeah. Did they go into the allegations that he didn't like Jews and people of certain religions, or is that something they don't talk about?
No, they don't go into that because it. I don't really think there's been any proof of that one. It's that's more rumors, and I think mainly about people that for example, the people that he tried to get rid of as part of his campaign against unions. Like there were some high profile animators that he turned it back on big time, and I'm fairly certain a lot of them were started. Oh well, he didn't like the Jews. Yeah, I don't. I think there's never been any like concrete evidence of him being anti-Semitic or anything like that. He was mainly anti-unions, anti people telling him he's wrong.
Um, Mike, when did this particular documentary come out?
Um, I'm actually downstairs right now because the Wi-Fi is better here, so I don't have it with me. I think it was the early 2000s,
Okay.
but don't quote me on that.
All right. Jack, did you have a final question?
This kind of might be a stupid question, but since we're talking about Walt Disney, I had to ask. Did they bring up any of the rumors that he's like still alive, frozen?
No. Um, wait, what was that?
The rumors, and speculation that he's, cryogenically frozen.
Oh yeah, no, that's yeah, no. They didn't. I think they might briefly mention it, but the fact that the man was cremated, kind of put a kibosh on that.
Okay. Jack, Mike, my last question is pretty simple. Is there a way that people can view this documentary? How can people view it
Uh,
if they're interested in seeing it?
yeah, oh yeah. I mean, it is available on DVD, not Blu-ray, but DVD, and I'm sure it's gonna be ordered through Amazon or any particular you know retailer. Um, I don't know if it's streaming anywhere, um, but actually, considering it's made by PBS, probably not. But it's always worth a looking.
Okay. All right, Mike, you are all set. I guess I'm up now. So, Jack, what is your first question for me?
Uh, why is this your favorite documentary?
Oh, plain simple. Well, I've made it abundantly clear. It's my favorite because it combines two of my greatest passions, which is history and baseball. It's historical in that the significance of what this particular team meant to not just the borough of Brooklyn, but basically America in general, as it chronicles, the heyday of the Jackie Robinson year. So, the impact they made on America at large. So it's very, and plus I'm a huge baseball fan, and the Dodgers are such a historically significant organization to the game. And congrats to them on a hell of a season. But yeah, that's basically why history and baseball are two of my greatest passions, and this thing had both of them. So, Mike, do you have a question?
Yeah. The Dodgers and not the Red Sox. Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, like I said, this I felt this dog had a lot more of a historical relevance to American history than anyone that I've seen on the Red Sox. Listen, I love the Red Sox; they're my team. They always will be my team. But I felt that this dog it showed much greater impact on how it helped Americans at large and whatnot. So yeah, that's why.
Okay.
Jack, did you have another question?
Yeah, you brought up something. How did it help Americans?
Okay. I'm trying to explain. I'm trying to figure out without going to like a really long lecture, but I don't think I'll have a choice. So I'm basically talking, and I'm basically talking like Okay, all right. I'm sorry. Let me back up. And this may come off of the novel, but I am of the opinion that the civil rights movement really began the day Jackie Robinson made his big league debut. And the reason I believe that is this: sports has a way of impacting America, of impacting culture, of impacting world society, world culture in a way that nothing else can. And for other examples, look at the U.S. Miracle on Ice team of 1980 or South Africa's rugby team championship in 1995. Sports has a way of just impacting and bringing people together in a way that nothing else can. What the Brooklyn Dodgers did in the late 40s and the early 50s is it showcased just what this country can be, if we all get along, if we all work together. And I think that's a very powerful message for, not just black people, but all people, really. So I hope that answered it. Mike, did you have another question?
Yeah. Sorry, doing this on a tablet is a lot harder than on a computer.
I believe you.
I'm certain Jackie Robinson wasn't the first black baseball player.
First black player of the modern era. Let me specify that. Yeah. There were before then, I think in 1890s, I think there was a couple of black players who tried to go into the game, but it just did not work.
I think it was that Robin was. I think there was actually a player, at least one or two players before Jackie Robinson in the modern era, actually. But I think he was the first one to really actually. He was actually the first one to really prove that he could be as good as everyone else. The other guys, I think, were kind of relegated to like shortstop or whatever. But yeah, I didn't really have a question beyond that.
Okay. Jack, did you have a final question?
No, I didn't have a final question.
Mike, did you?
Nope.
Okay, then. Before we wrap it up, I do want to say that if you're interested in watching it, it's actually on YouTube. I linked it in the description down below. So if you got it's 2 hours long, but it's very well made. It's an HBO documentary, so it's good quality. It's got a lot of everything to it. So if you're interested, feel free to check it out. All right, so guys, that is gonna wrap up our show. So, Jack, Mike, thank you very much for being here.
No problem. This was fun.
All right, and next week, guys, will be our first show of December. So we've got a full schedule coming up. We're gonna have some interrogations. We're gonna have some top tens. Kind of as what we normally do to wrap up the year. So I hope you're looking forward to them. I know I am, and we will see you next week. Until then, have a great day, everyone. Bye bye.